many levels in Rainbow. There's the lowest of the low here. And there's murderers here, there's rapists here, there's men on the run, there's robbers. They're all here, and they're welcome. Because the lowest of the low are here, and all in between, the highest of the high are here also. For where else in the world would they gather? Where else would they gather?
Early visions of this gathering, when we, young kids, now we have our grandkids, or our kids are here, grown up, when we, young kids ourselves, saw this and began gathering, we envisioned that there would be wise teachers from the great sects of the world coming here to teach young people, not spirituality in a suitcase or a cereal box, but spirituality in the heart and spirituality in nature and in the cosmos. And we envisioned, wise old sages, but there we were, blasted out of the furnace of the '60s, and landed in this natural, what we call the cathedral of nature.
We're here to get a bracha from the Rebbe. His movement started 50 years ago in America, and basically the way it gathered and the way it spread out throughout the world was basically what we're doing now.
He brought thousands of Jews back together, and there's thousands and thousands and thousands of stories about him, how he helped people out, and he would stand for 8 hours on Sundays and pass out dollar bills to people so they can give it to charity and help other people, and his whole life he spent helping out others. He was truly a human being, and we try to emulate his deeds as well as we do for our forefathers. And we come to him for a blessing so that our journey should be successful and that we should help other Jews become more complete human beings.
Mashiach is an individual, the Redeemer of the Jewish people and the Redeemer of the world. Basically, the general things that all mankind want: peace between the nations of the world, and people not being sick anymore, and these kind of things that everyone from the beginning of time has been waiting for.
Everything we do is in order to bring Mashiach 1 second closer and easier. It's not enough just to say I'm going to do. You have to understand what you're doing also. And this is how we serve Hashem. When we serve Hashem, it's not enough to say, you said so, I'll do it. God said so, I'll listen. That's not enough.
But maybe
there's a second step. The second step is you have to understand it with your brains. It should make sense.
It's not only for Jewish people, it's also a message to non-Jewish people as well, that there's a God that exists, and that there's a Torah that exists, and that it's there's a purpose in life, and that there's a lot to learn.
Another reason why we're going to the Rainbow is because while we're there, we're going to be saying blessings, we're going to be learning Torah, we're going to be doing holy things to bring down positive energy down to that specific place. And because, as we know, there are many negative forces in that place which need lifting, which need elevation.
This is the last generation of Galus. Galus means exile. Galus means concealment of godliness. The Rebbe said one of the many prophecies that he gave over was that Mashiach is coming. Mashiach is the Redeemer of the universe. It doesn't mean that if we don't do this, he's not going to come. Just by doing something positive, you bring him closer.
first started with my first LSD experience when I kind of got a clue into things. It kind of opened my eyes. I'd seen everything in such a one-dimensional frame, this little square box which society pictured for me. And when I experimented with LSD, it broke that box. I started questioning the basic structure and framework of society. I went into a shell, and I didn't really know what was going on during the whole thing. It was all part of a growing process. Like a seed, when a seed is planted in the ground, the seed first decomposes, and afterwards it can sprout up. So I had to de-evolve in order to evolve in a higher sense.
I didn't even really have any awareness of being Jewish at all. I grew up in West Rogers Park, which is a very Jewish neighborhood in Chicago, but I never had any contact with Yiddishkeit at all. My father is not Jewish, so we'd have like an Xmas tree in the house, and we'd have Easter egg hunts and things like that. And didn't have any religious significance at all. I mean, also we lit the menorah for Hanukkah. And it didn't really mean anything. I didn't have any awareness beyond that of any difference between being Jewish or not being Jewish.
I remember getting up one morning and just, I don't know, I just woke up and I had a feeling like, okay, that's it, that's enough. I'm sick of it, no more. I'm not doing this anymore. And I basically felt after that step, I felt like free. I felt free of the shackles of society put on me, and I had to be this, and I had to conform to that, and I had to be so, perfect in terms of material status. Wow, he's in this certain bracket or whatever. But I saw that it was all a lie. It was all fake, false. Temporary, and I wanted something more substantial. I wanted something more real.
I don't know where this suggestion came up, but I had a suggestion to go to Hawaii. And another friend of mine that I was living with, I said, let's go to Hawaii. I said, okay, let's go. So, okay, that was our plan. We were going to Hawaii. A couple people, they pulled into this campsite. This guy and this girl. And he said, you guys know where the sweat lodge is? We said, sweat lodge? Actually, we don't know what is a sweat lodge. We did a sweat for the first time, and it was open doors, which I didn't even know existed. And it was interesting. The first night that I actually that I did the sweat lodge, I had this little flash of revelation. And basically what was contained in the flash was, you have to go back home, you have to learn Kabbalah, which is the inner secrets of the Torah, and Hashem wrote the Torah. It just hit me like that.
I think a lot of times people identify happiness and pleasure as being the same thing. Sometimes even even they could work against each other. I don't know, but it wasn't a case of necessarily wanting to change it. There wasn't anything wrong. There wasn't anything wrong with my friends or my family. There wasn't anything that needed to be corrected. It's just it was like a step up.
I feel like on LSD, there's certain we put up all these barriers around us, around people, to protect us. And LSD shatters those barriers, and there's just a flow of consciousness. And you can pick up on true things. Yeah, there's a lot of false things and vain things and fantasies and this and that, but there's also, you can pick up on truth. And I picked up on truth that those family and Judaism are the important things in life. So the first day that I sweat, that thing came back to me, but it wasn't chemically induced, it was a natural thing. So I think it made more of an impact on me. It was more real. I've never felt that feeling in my life. I've never felt such a inner calm and such a sense of being before.
I thank God every day that I woke up. Because some people are, even though they're walking around and doing things and they're very productive, they're still sleeping. They're in deep spiritual sleep.
I've heard a lot of things about the Rainbow Gathering to the point where I'm not exactly certain what to expect. I know it's for sure going to be, you know, there are going to be some difficulties. There's going to be a clash in lifestyles for sure.
We're going there to all these people. They're very spiritual and they're free. They live a free life, but we have to manifest it down here in this physical world and reveal godliness down in this physical world.
I think this is the right thing to do. We are making a vessel, and I also think that this is a great growing experience for myself, as well as the other boys, and for the people that we're going to be in contact with.
So right now we're going out to a friend's house to try to smooth things over, try to make things more complete at home, try to make things more whole and holy at the same time, and try to get people back connected to their roots, and so we can bring Mashiach, bring the revelation of godliness down here, and we should all merit to see Mashiach in flesh. Amen. Ken Yitzhak.
This is a rainbow gathering. This is where people come here to find themselves. It's a very beautiful thing. There's always much more beyond what you see in the external. So I came here to become a little bit humble, to share what I have.
When souls get together, they unite, and it's like a rainbow. If it wasn't for the different colors of the rainbow, if it wasn't for the different souls that are joining, well, then you wouldn't have a rainbow.
Welcome to Rainbow Land. We've been doing this 27 years. It is said that when the earth is weeping and the animals are dying, a tribe of all people will come who care. They will be called the Warriors of the Rainbow. You know, one branch of our family is called Shantasio, which means peacekeepers. We do security at these rodeos. You know, we get a lot of individuals that aren't all there, you know. They're either a predator or a pedophile or a rapist or a thief. Caleb's kind of in charge of doing what we're doing here.
My name is Caleb, and I'm Rainbow Shanasina. I do whatever I can to facilitate the fact that my family comes together in love and peace, and we're trying to heal all the sickness that we can encounter in the best possible, cleanest way we can. I love you guys.
Love you, man. Love you too.
Welcome home. You guys are just arriving, right? My suggestion is park your rig, spend a day or two, look around the camp, see where you fit in really good, set your rig up there, set your kitchen up there, and get yourself going in the way that you can fit in.
We parked our cars up over there and we loaded this whole van with all our stuff. And we're going to bring our stuff in right now in this van right here.
See, it's a big area. You go in there and like you're talking about like about a 4 square mile area of people who have kitchens and stuff. Go find out where your part in the community is and then move your shit to there. And that's my suggestion. You can do whatever you want. You're at home and you're in America and you're a free citizen. And I welcome you home, man.
Thanks, man.
Give me the hug and You know, like this is the real deal here. We're here together, and any way I can help you, as long as you're functioning within a rainbow happening scene, I'll help any kind of way I can.
It was kind of a magic thing. I was in Telluride, Colorado on a motorcycle, and I was following the spring north from Acapulco to Canada, and I saw a little brown piece of paper on a bulletin board, and it said, "The family's gathering in Wyoming." I had no idea who the family was or anything else about it, but something struck me, and I packed up my motorcycle, and I slept that night under cold Wyoming stars, and I wandered around Wyoming for 3 days. My bike was dusty, and so was I, and I found myself on a dirt road up in the Wind River Indian Reservation. I was going along, and I happened to look, and in a bush, here's a little brown paper sack with a rainbow crayon on it, and a dirt road going back to the trees. So I went back to the trees, pulled up on this valley, and there's teepees down there, and the kids were playing, and the smoke was curling out of them, and it was just at dusk, and they're like Chinese lanterns glowing there in the evening, and I could feel this love like a warm breeze coming up out of the valley. It was just encompassing me, holding me, and I recognized it right away, and that's when I came home.
I've been coming to Rainbow since 1975. There are so many people here with so many things different about them that nobody notices one or the other more, as far as I can tell. People here get along well together. That's about the best way you can describe it.
I think this is one of the most extraordinary experiments out and about right now for people to learn how to relate to each other without a buck. And people are happy here. And happiness, well, love is the thing that's really where it's all at. It's faster than the speed of light. It travels through walls, and it's what makes the whole universe happen. And here we get an opportunity to really experience love on a moment-by-moment basis.
And we're gonna make it. I know we will.
No, I've been coming over 20 years. It had a profound effect on my life when I first came to the gathering. I'd pretty much been out on the streets just drinking and being crazy. And I came to my first gathering, I seen people coexist, people open their hearts, people from all walks, all cultures, come together and try to educate each other about survival.
The whole idea of community and of all these different people coming together without a corporate sponsor, without a political tie-in. It's just a spontaneous organization of people who believe that there's got to be a better way to live than the way mainstream society keeps on pushing the people, you know, in this consumer capitalist type of direction.
Do you want to eat something?
What? Yeah, I do.
All right, so I think we're just all ready.
Okay, cool.
Great.
The general attitude over here is people are looking for something. People are hungry. People, it's not obviously not a physical hunger. Some people are also physically hungry, so they come here for, you know, the nudity and the nakedness and the sex and drugs. You know, that's going on, unfortunately. But there's also some other type of hunger, spiritual hunger. People come here to seek some sort of salvation, you know, to seek happiness. That's what I see.
I pretty much expected something like this, but you never know what you got until you see it, so kind of thing. So, I mean, it's a test. It's a test. You have to control your eyes. You have to control your heart and your mind.
My name is Elijah Alfred Alexander Jr., or as it says in the Hebrew, Eliyahu. And my purpose for being here is because this rainbow gathering is a fulfillment of a prophecy in the revelation of the Bible, which is not a part of the Torah, but you are probably aware of. I began coming to rainbow gatherings in 1984. At the time that they were looking for the Messiah to appear.
The Great Spirit has a perfect plan in the ultimate scheme of things. So we try to develop that faith, no matter what tradition you hold dear. It's the same faith, that God is in control of everything. And He's got a perfect plan. He's holding the universe in a perfect harmony and balance.
The Messianic type character has been on the earth for many years. His manifestation is that which is only thing that's lacking. By satellite television, the manifestation of the Messiah and knowledge of Him will be given to the world, the whole earth, where men are.
I'm Moonflower, and I came to this rainbow gathering to spend a few weeks in a beautiful place outdoors, and this is my first time at a gathering like this. So really I came to see if all the wonderful things I'd heard about Rainbow were true, about just people getting along, working together, free kitchens, sharing food with each other, sharing stories, sharing songs, sharing their dreams and visions with each other in such an intimate and beautiful way that if we're going to find answers for how to live on this planet, how to get along with each other, this is where those answers are to be found.
The Rainbow Gathering is the only organization that embraces the concept of returning to nature minus the things of civilization.
Humans have to decide whether they want to be a part of the balance or part of the imbalance. We're choosing our own fate, whether we want to ruin our own karma. But God's not going to let it ruin the earth until it's time for the earth and the universe to be annihilated according to His plan, not what we do.
When I come to these gatherings, there are people truly seeking to know how to return to the garden, to return back to the garden, which is to say return back to nature. You must go back as bare as you came out of your mother's womb.
The second gathering, it was a real focus, and we had our vision, and our vision was world peace. Every man is your brother and knows it. Every woman is your sister and knows it. And that someday this would all explode outward from a gathering, because so many instances people come in and it would, what we call the rainbow pop, and they see the love in our eyes and they respond to it. There's no defense against love.
Well, it's high. You see all them banana bottles?
Yeah.
Ovens are not, they're not like 450 or anything else.
That's okay, that'll give you plenty of time.
They need your help, you know they have to.
So did you see all them,
Hey, one more person. Welcome home. We love you. We love you. Give me a hug, brother. Give me a hug. Still loving you, man.
The Kosher Kitchen is run by a bunch of rabbinical students, I would call them. You know, they're on their way to become rabbis. And there'll be a lot of questions that are going to come up, and with my historical background in camping and my rabbinical degree, they called me and they asked me if I would like to join them, and I was more than happy. All I had to do was convince my wife and my kids that I could leave them for a week.
At first I was very skeptical,
I don't know, Arizona. I've never been to Arizona before, and what is it? It's a big hippie fest and so forth and so forth. But I asked my wife if she thought it was a good idea. She said yeah. So here I am.
We're here because we know there's an interest, first of all. And we know as a result of us being here, there's going to be gains for others. So the fact that I have 4 or 5 bumps under my body when I sleep, or there's no shower here, it's very secondary.
22 years for every letter in the alphabet before you guys finally made it to Rainbow Gathering. 76? 76, I asked the Rebbe for send you guys. 76, 77. Well, he's known about Rainbow Gathering since the Rebbe's known about it.
Yeah.
For a long time, let me tell you. Yeah.
I'm glad that the Chabadniks came here to Rainbow, not just because it gives them a chance to get in touch with all of these quote-unquote out-of-touch Jews, but because the Chabadniks can really, I think, use a little opening of their minds as well, and this is a good place for them to be challenged.
It was shell shock. I mean, coming from Phoenix, from the airport, and then suddenly going into a different world totally. This is like a world in itself. It's like an island somewhere, and it's like you never think a world like this can exist, and it's really cool. I mean, in the beginning when you're walking around and people are just walking nude and all that stuff, it's just, I'm sure you guys are gonna interview Bouncing Baby.
I want to be natural because it's less complications in life. Like, I want to lead a simple life. I want to be like a yogi and survive all over the universe just on my new body. I'm Bouncing Baby, by the way, and I love everybody in the universe. My goal in life, I have goals, okay? I want to bring everybody to samadhi, spiritual ecstasy. I want to go around the world and just traveling and then spreading the one love concept to everybody.
The power of the soul, that's what I'm seeing over here. You see how the soul is searching and is looking for something. It's like in the dark, and it's tapping on the walls, and it's looking for the switch, you know, and it's tripping over all these things, and, you know, the acid over here and the drugs and everything. That they feel that's a way to go further in their quest, but that's just the stumbling blocks until they actually find the switch on the wall. And I hope that I can provide the switch for myself and for the people that I'm telling the stories to.
Hey, Mr. Kosher Kitchen man.
Hey.
Hey. How's it going?
Baruch Hashem.
Baruch Hashem.
Okay, we're going to get another pair of tefillin. We're going to say the bracha on the tefillin. Then you will say Shema, and then you'll read something in English, internalize it, meditate on it. And then we'll do the festivities of the Bar Mitzvah. Shema, Yisrael, Adonai, Eloheinu, Adonai, Echad. Baruch, Shem, Kivod, Malchuto, La'olam, Va'ed.
The basic teaching is to do practical things, not to just trip out on spirituality and go up there into the higher worlds. But someone actually makes a difference in the world and does something good in the world, does something kind and does something charitable, that makes a difference. That person, that's what we need. This is the generation where we can't think of all these spiritual ideals. We just have to act. We have to do it. We have to do good things.
When we start worshiping the goods and products of society more than we worship the life force that's in each of us, and that each of us is God, that's where we fall.
So redemption is here, man. And this Rebbe said, what do we have to do to manifest this redemption? Like we said, practical acts of kindness and goodness.
Wake up, wake up, wake up! We came to the Rainbow Gathering, and when I came here, the first thing we looked for is to see if there was any kind of Jewish presence, and I was excited to see that there was a Kosher Kitchen. And so we came straight to the Kosher Kitchen, and of course we were offered food and wonderful stories.
This was the first place we came to when we arrived, and I felt as though I had arrived. Really had, as you walk in, people say, welcome home, and I felt like I'd really gotten home when we got to the Kosher Kitchen.
We also went to the Hare Krishna tent, and at first I was uncomfortable because Hare Krishna is not the name of my God, but what I was able to really see is they were celebrating and are celebrating the same God. It's all Hashem, and if we can really begin to recognize that and honor that with each other, I think that's a huge step in the right direction, and the Rainbow Gathering really is a celebration, I think, of life and God.
It's great to see so many different people, religions, belief systems, ages, This is one of the few communities that truly, reaches across all the age gaps and probably encompasses the majority of the world's religions as well.
Pole ceremony is a sign of peace. It originated, came from nonviolence and actions that we do, protesting nuclear waste or whatever environmental issues. We consider ourselves activists because we're all activists. If we care about the earth, the planet Earth, and each other, we have to be active. We can't just say, well, we are human beings. No, we have to be active human beings to make a change in this world. So this is based on nonviolence. And we start carrying this pole on peace walks. It's been on several gatherings. It's been on several peace walks in the active movement.
When you put tefillin on someone, or at least when I put tefillin on someone, the mitzvah is great, for the person who's helping them put on tefillin is the one who's actually wearing them. But you feel it like emotionally, intellectually. I mean, it's it refines you.
Tefillin is phylacteries, English dictionary. That's what it's called, and it has within it four of the most famous pasukim, paragraphs in the Torah that talk about God's unity, and they talk about fear and love of God and utilizing all of your powers within your soul, the power of emotions, intellect, and your willpower, and all your talents to serve God. After this blessing, you're supposed to not say any words, anything, until you put the head tefillin, okay?
So you do what?
You put the head tefillin. This is the hand tefillin. The other one is the head tefillin. It's in the bag.
Okay. Not just on Sunday and not just on Saturday. Every day, whatever we do, when we wake up in the morning till we go to sleep, it's one long serving God. Yeah, I can dig that. Cool.
There's one kid that we met. I would never have even imagined that he was Jewish. He came in, he gave us some Tibetan name. So we were talking, and then he tells me that he's a Jew, that his mother's Jewish, that his grandmother was Jewish on his mother's side. Then he tells me that his mother's father is also Jewish, so therefore he's a Jew. And I asked him if he had ever put on tefillin in his life, and he told me no. So I told him that he should come tomorrow morning, and that we were going to do that with him. When my friend Sneer put the tefillin on him, he looked like something was touching him deep inside him.
Baruch Shem.
While he was repeating these Hebrew words that he has no clue what they mean, but he was saying them, and it just made an effect in his neshama, in his soul. It says in the Torah, the Gemara explains that whoever saves a life saves a universe, and if you are able to save one life, then therefore you have saved the universe, and that is something very, very big.
That are separated by the sex. Shem.
Al-Hadama Asher Nishba Adonai
Mezuzot Beitecha Uvish Arecha. Very good. That was a bar mitzvah.
Really? Mazel tov.
Mazel tov. Mazel tov. Simen tov. Mazel tov. Mazel tov. Simen tov. Simen tov. Mazel tov. Mazel tov. Simen tov. Simen tov. Mazel tov. Mazel tov. Simen tov. Yehelanu. 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 Yod Yisrael. Yod Yisrael.
The people that have come to our tent and the people that we've come in contact with has been, and I mean, I didn't expect this much of a response. It's truly a gift. I mean, God blessed us, and He's been leading us the whole way through.
I am so completely pleased that they're here. I've been hoping for this, that these folks particularly, or that some really, how they say, from kosher setup would come here. I know there have been individuals who have come here who have kept kosher as individuals while they're here, but there's never been a kitchen per se.
Now, Kosher Kitchen, let me tell you, it's a good concept. I like the fact is there's Judaism, they're teaching people about Judaism. They're a little insistent but that's the way Jews are.
They know that they've touched a lot of people, and they also know that they were a part of the scene that people talked about. Oh, have you been to this tent, the Kosher Kitchen?
When I came here, I found that there was a Jewish folks camped right next door to my tent, and I'm definitely someone who has been able to get a lot of answers out of Judaism from people in the establishment who I've asked, but I saw this was here and I came on over.
Fortunately, there's a lot of Jews here who are getting it wrong. They grow up with the wrong kind of Judaism, and it doesn't work, you know. It gives the wrong perception. It's something nasty and ugly they want to run away from. Anyone you ask, you know, that's the perception they have.
If I'm going to temple, I'm just surrounded by a lot of people I really can't relate to, and my temple's kind of strange. It's very laid back, and it really doesn't do a lot for me. And that's been my Jewish experience.
First of all, it's important to understand there are 3 kinds of mitzvahs in the Torah. You know what a mitzvah is, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Commandment.
From the point that we actually start to wrap this around is the actual mitzvah. So we make the bracha now. All right. So it's Baruch.
Baruch.
Atah. Adonai. Eloheinu. Melech. Haolam. Shema Yisrael. Adonai Eloheinu. Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem. Kvod Malchuso. Le'olam. Vayed.
I come to a gathering, right? And this dude gets bar mitzvah, and I get to tefillin and put on, and I'm like sitting around with a yarmulke. It's great, man. It rocks, dude.
Feeding hundreds of people, I think, is the most profound experience. You know, just to give people food, to give, I think, is the most profound experience that could be done in the Rainbow Gathering.
By helping others, you're really helping yourself also. You get the biggest lessons. You know, it makes you humble. You know, you're not so hot anyways.
Gathering is about love, it's about harmony, it's about peace, it's about healing the earth, it's all the higher things. Man has two things within him, the lower self and higher self. The lower self are the baser things, the anger, the fear, the hate, and the lust, and et cetera, et cetera. The higher self is love and understanding, and you know what I'm talking about. And that's the side of us that we have to grow upon and create and bring forth. Love is the only pathway to enlightenment. Without love, you cannot be enlightened. You cannot be enlightened without love.
I love you.
Every day it's the same thing, loving you, man. I don't know, it just becomes a way of life here. They just say it as a normal thing, but they don't really take the time to really try and know you, to really love you. They just tell you that they love you. It's just an outwardly expression of, I don't know. It's mainly style, I think. It's for show. It's like it's a fashion statement. Everybody has his fashion statement. The inner city kids have their fashion statement. They wear Tommy Hilfiger, they wear filas, they wear this, they wear that. This is their fashion statement, that they wear nothing. They're not for commercial, they're not for anything. They try to be non-commercial. But by doing that, they're also being a fad. They're also trying to have attention. So basically it ends up being the same thing.
We're all one, man. We're all one. It's just that simple. We're all one. And that's the only way we're going to make it, is if we realize that and are one.
I think they have good intentions, you know, to bring everybody together, to bring all religions together. But that's not how we really hold. We think it's okay, we're all one, we're all part of one thing. But if you blend it in everything in together, it loses the identity of each thing. And we like keeping our own identity and holding strong to that.
It's important that every aspect of what's out there is here. You know? And it's good to see that the Krishnas are here, and the Yidlas are here, and you know, the Christ camp is going to be here, and the Buddhists, and everybody's going to be here. And you know what? On the 4th of July, we're all going to get together out there. We're all going to daven together.
You like it, huh?
I love it. I love it because there's nothing like it on earth than what's going to go on here on the 4th.
On the 4th of July, there is what we call a silent meditation, contemplation, or prayer that takes place in the center of this village. And by virtue of its being silent, people get to do it their own internal way. So that you look in the meadow and there may be somebody there sitting in the meadow, and it may be very apparent to you that they are sitting in a yogic posture and doing yogic breathing. And 2 blankets down, there may be somebody sitting there with a rosary beads. And 2 blankets down, there may be somebody sitting there who has no belief in the deity as a living being at all, except there's maybe a mythology. But there they are, contemplating the nature of the world and our position in it. Somewhere around 1 o'clock, the kids' parade comes from Kid Village into the meditative circle. The kids' parade will come in full of noise and tambourines and bells and whistles and people on stilts and kids in face paint. Because you bring the kids away from the silence, go over to Kid Village, they get face painted, they learn songs, they hear stories. There'll maybe be a big flower procession of children or whatever with parents and guardians. And then that's how we break up the silence. Of the afternoon, there's celebrations, meeting, drumming, music, partying, all kinds of wonderful stuff.
Unless I misinterpret the prophecies, this is either the last or the next to the last rainbow gathering to be had on American soil in this dispensation of time. In the year 1999 and the completion of the 7th month, nuclear bombs will be launched and fall back upon this country, eliminating all except for an extreme few people within this land. This is the mystery of Babylon, mother of harlots, the abomination of the world, which is prophesied in Revelation. Or it is the place where Nostradamus has said the king of terror will fall from the sky. And the king of terror is nuclear, which ever since the bomb was dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, man have been terrified of it.
This is our last chance. We don't have time. Everything's moving so fast in the world. So much violence. So we have to turn things around. This is our only chance to start trusting each other. Not just here at the gathering, but when we leave here, to take that with us. That seed that we planted here, that spark of light that was created here, can be taken out there to the rest of the world.
To bring the spirituality that you acquire through learning and through praying, bring it down to the world. Teach it to your kids. You know, live your life based on it. Teach it to other people. Apply to your business. Be honest. You know, and reveal into the world that God exists, and it works in the world. Come here. Come here. He hasn't put on tefillin yet, but he's gonna put it on.
And keep pressuring me.
As soon as he gets home, he's gonna buy one and put it on every day. He knows all about it now.
They can't wait to see me with tefillin.
There you go.
There should be a strong foundation that's built not just in a concept like because it is written or because somebody says so, the Rebbe says so, or the Guru says so. You know? For me that doesn't last, that doesn't work. It's got to be something from within each person.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
We used to tell this story, that away beyond the banks of clouds, in a great hall, surrounded by the souls of the departed ones, sat God in a manifest form. And in cometh a flash of light like an angel with wings, and everyone pays attention. And to the Holy One on the throne saith the angel, way over there in that corner of your great cosmos, O Creator, and of your own creation, and that third planet from the sun called Earth, they have set a beautiful table, and they have invited us to come to join them and to celebrate your godness. And they have sent me as a messenger to invite you to come there. That's where we're at.
We've done so much here, it's unbelievable. So many people have been affected, and we've fed so many people and put tefillin on so many people, and people definitely know that we're here.
We've met hundreds of people, and we've got a good response from, almost everybody. I mean, like 99% of the people. We put tefillin on a lot of people. We had, I think, at least seven or eight bar mitzvahs here already.
When I came here, the first couple of days, I hated it. Physically and spiritually, it was very difficult. And after a while, you get used to it, and you get used to the new style of living.
I don't really know that I've had any fun here. The environment in general, I've never really been into. I wasn't expecting to really be into it. It's not really my scene. And always like you feel like you're on guard from certain things, and. I mean, just also I'm in a lot of physical toil, and just I'm a city kid. I'm not really used to this whole scene. In order to accomplish this, we had to break through a lot of our boundaries, and that's what we did. I mean, we had no other choice. So from that aspect, I think that's one thing for sure I take back with me. Something that's I think is a part of me now.
I'm definitely a different person. I'm more in tune with other people's needs, and. I definitely have grown more, and I've become more of an open-minded person. I was always an open-minded person, but there's no limits on open-mindedness. The more people that I come in contact with, the more energy I receive from them. Positive energy, and that basically pumps me up and keeps me going for the whole day and the whole time that we're here. It's not that hard when people appreciate what you're doing.
America is based on capitalism, basically capitalism at any cost, and this is the result of it. These people are the result of society's illnesses, and this is what happens when a society doesn't function on standard basic moral values. People who don't want to connect to society, want to run away from it, want to live back in the woods, or they want to connect to nature because they feel that nature is true and nature is what it is. When it's cold, it's cold. When it's hot, it's hot. Nature doesn't lie, basically. Whereas they sense that people do. I just hope that I was able to touch even one person's life, and that he realizes that there's something out there, and that he should try, if he can, to connect back to his roots. And I hope that that's what we came here for, to be living examples of what Judaism is and what it stands for. And basically the message of this generation, and the message that the Rebbe is saying, is that continuing on the path of righteousness and acts of kindness and good deeds will eventually lead us to the messianic redemption. And this is what basically these people are here for. They want redemption.
We may not have a home to call our own, but we're gonna make it. I know we will. We may have to fight just to survive, but we're gonna make it. I know we will. Because togetherness brings peace of mind. We can't stay down all the time. I got your love, you know you got mine. And we're gonna make it. I know we will. Our car may be old, our children cold, but we're gonna make it. I know we will.
I love you! I love you so much, bro! Come here. I love you. Yes.